But as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night, we will not vanish without a fight, we're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
It's not true.
It doesn't matter what's true. It matters the story they tell when you're gone.
I keep on pushing down my gypsy road.
All right. We got a doozy today. It's a doozy. It's a Friday. We're going to have a doozy because there's a lot of corrections that needs to be
Eric,
done.
I gotta reboot my computer.
You gotta reboot the computer? That's what I'm saying.
Reboot. I'm losing connection. Oh, sorry. Keep going. I'm gonna reboot.
No problem. You gotta redo. You redo, guys. We gotta fix a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of stuff I just don't understand, and there's a lot of reasons for it. And I thought, you know what? I need to talk about some of my conversations that I have with people. And you know what? We're gonna do it on air. That's the way we roll, right? We're gonna try to fix some of these issues all together. Because why? We're a Gypsy Road family. We're a team here on this channel, and I appreciate every single one of you. But there's a lot of things that we need to fix. And what I'm talking about fixing is, let me just say, there's a lot of things that people jump on board that they're just not looking into it fully, and it hurts, right? It affects the community. It affects a lot of people. It makes a lot of things seem fake. I know it sounds strange. But there's just a lot of things. Okay, now. I think the first part of the show. Oh, there's Bob. Okay. There's Bob right there. Okay.
I'm back. I lost internet. Keep going. Are we going?
I can hear you, but you are breaking up here and there. I think the Mandela effect really wants to stop you. All right, we got Ann Gaynor. Yeah, we're gonna talk some Sinbad Shazaam in a little bit. We're gonna talk because I do hear myself on your computer, Bob. Long Reach One's here. Good old Hobbs is here. Shazaam was Sinbad was real. Guys, first of all, I am not here to say Sinbad a lost movie. But we are going to talk, is that even important to Sinbad? And I want to get to that. This is the Reddit war that I got into on Sinbad versus another one that I felt that was bigger, and a bunch of people says no, Sinbad's big, it's huge. Really? It's really huge, and that's what we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss it. Why is it huge? What's the message that's telling us for Sinbad? And we're going to break it down. And of course, we're going to talk about Wizard of Oz, because Wizard of Oz has a lot of clues. It's a movie a lot like Forrest Gump. You know, there's a lot of codes in it. And that's an interesting topic because the movie has a lot of codes. But we're gonna break it all down. Bob's gonna come back. He's having internet issues. What's it say? My internet's shutting down on me and off today, and it happened yesterday. Primino, now you don't live in the UK, do you? Because I've heard, Bob's in the UK, and I've heard in the UK the internet's been bad over there for the last 2-3 days, and so I don't know if it's related to where you're at. I know yesterday on Wednesday's show, I know Bob got kicked off, Bigfoot got kicked off, I even got kicked off, and I got fiber coming to my house. So, I got perfect speeds and all that. So let's see here. It's crap here too. Sinbad, huh? Yeah. We are gonna get into Sinbad. Yeah, I can hear you now. We are gonna get into Sinbad. We will, but I want to go straight across about when you hear about effects. If you hear effects and you hear Mandela effects and the danger of not truly researching it yourself, because it'll take you down a rabbit hole in the wrong direction. And why is it important? Because to have a paranormal field, to get people to respect it, to get people to understand it and want to listen to you. That's the thing. To want to listen to you, you got to make sure you're following the truth. And what I mean is, you got to be careful with the residue that you see, because a lot of residue is not real. Okay? And you got to watch. You got to watch. Oh, there goes Bob again. So we're going to start off with Star Wars. Okay? We're going to start off with Star Wars. There's a clip that, for whatever reason, and especially here, let me show this for a second, okay? We're talking Star Wars, especially here. There's a Reddit page called the Mandela Effect. There's a few of them, but this one is supposed to be like the biggest Mandela Effect on Reddit, right? This page on Reddit, I'm going to say, and I'm going to be nice on this, that 85% of the people on this Reddit page is full of shit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. These people on this Reddit page is nothing more than pop culture Mandela effects. They're pop culture. It's got to be top 40. It's got to be top 15. It's got to be top 10. And whenever an outside person comes in, right? Comes in with some good old-fashioned real research Mandela effects, they all go against you. That's not real. That's not real. That's fake. That's fake. It's because they're pop culture Mandela effects. They're pop culture. That's all they are. They're planted memories, what they have. These people don't study the true residue. They hear something on a channel and boom, they put it on there. Look at this. Look at this. Because if you believe in the Mandela effect, you also need to believe there's a reason for it. If there's a change, there's a reason for the change. Straight out. There's a reason for it. Now, I'm not a religious person. A lot of people know that. But if you are a religious person, then you might believe that if there's a change, maybe God is doing the changes for a reason, to make you research, to go into something. That's it. I mean, listen, there's got to be a reason. There's no questions about that. But let me read some of these, what people are saying here. I noticed that on Reddit, it's kind of bland. The problem with Reddit is there's a lot of different pages. And it depends on the pages, right? Okay. I've posted stuff on Reddit. And the thing is, Criminal, when I post, I get banned. I get kicked out because I am not playing on board with them. I'm not agreeing with them 100%. And as soon as you question something, and you're just questioning, you're just asking, where do you get this from? Boom, you're banned, you're kicked out. Okay? The only true, I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be straight out honest. The only true Reddit page I'm going to tell you is mine. I'll tell you straight out. Mine is. I put fun stuff on here, and I have never kicked somebody out, banned somebody, or do anything. But as soon as you go to the so-called pop culture Mandela effect page right here, you say something that they don't agree with, you're kicked out. You're banned. And I'm telling you guys right now, a lot of your baby truther channels, baby truthers who try to who use Mandela effects to spoon feed their followers. That's what they do. They spoon feed their followers to keep following them, and they get all their information from this freaking page. They don't even check to see if the residue is real or not. And this is how I'm going to show you guys one of the most false, fake, rabbit hole YouTube video that 10 millions of people have viewed and said, this is the real deal. And guys, this is the most bullshit fakery I've ever seen. And it's just amazing that people on Reddit, people on channels keep using this one video. And I'm going to show you this video right now.
Not true. That's impossible. Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Hold on.
True.
Oh, let me go back. My bad.
Don't be joking. No.
Here we go.
He don't be joking. No, Luke. I am your father.
No. Okay, he's in that clip, and this supposed to be audio reaction from 1980. They slipped in saying, "No, Luke, I'm your father." That message, that part right there, got 10 million views. Where people on YouTube's and that Reddit page all believe that's a real clip, real audio from from audio reaction from the 1980 Empire Strikes Back. That audio, if you listen to the whole clip, that audio was put in. It was fakery. It was put in, and over 10 million people have watched it. And the original,
I blame the government.
And hold on, in the original,
Government did it.
this is the original.
That's not true.
No.
That was the actual real audio clip from a fan reaction. Somebody took it, made it look fuzzy, and they planted the word Luke, and they used, and Bob, that video was actually analyzed. The audio reaction sounds.
Yeah.
You know where it came from?
Where?
It came from Avengers Infinity War. They took fan reaction and they planted the voices and they planted the word Luke into that video, and they hit 10 million, and everybody used it on Reddit. They used it on YouTube, saying, look, this is the proof. And this is what I'm trying to say. Guys, before you take something as saying it's true residue, you got to damn make sure that it's real. And it's not real. It is the most fakest shit. And 85% of people in the Mandela effect community thinks that footage is real, and it was actually falsified and fake. And they're real. And the thing is, this is how it's so fake that the channel, the guy doesn't even give his name. Doesn't even give his name of his channel. What
it is, I think I heard a rumor that somebody has the book. I don't have the book, though. I'm not going to confirm this at all, but somebody said in the book, he says, "No, Luke, I'm your father." And so from the book, he went ahead and made a fakery based off what it says in the book, which is kind of a combination of both arguments.
Well,
no, I'm your father, and Luke, I'm your father.
And this is the this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Of all Mandela effects out there, I'm telling you guys right now that everybody should take the Star Wars stuff, push it away. And I'm telling you guys on purpose. Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say my memory thinks something different. I remember the word Luke. That's my memory. I am not here to debunk and saying the word Luke wasn't there. But the footage that people are using as residue is a fake footage. They added voicing from Infinity War into it. And what I'm trying to get as is even with that, you cannot use any Star Wars as anything for Mandela effects, just because I've told you guys on this channel that George Lucas has made dramatic changes to his movies, not in remix VHS tapes that came out later on, THX remix, this remix. He has made changes while the movie was still at the theater. Okay? There is a possibility that the word Luke was originally there, but he said, you know what? I don't want the word Luke in there, and pulled it out. He's done this, and I've showed you guys on this channel. That's the problem about trying to say automatically, look at Star Wars. You can't do that no more. George Lucas has made changes. Empire Strikes Back, in the first week it came out, he didn't like the way the space looked as the ships. So George Lucas has took the movie and made changes while the movie is playing in the theater. Now, this is 1980. This wasn't in the day of digital thing. I mean, he's done this. He has cleaned up. He has cleaned up his movie with clarity while it was still playing at the theater. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is when you have discussions with other people about Mandela effects, true or false, it doesn't matter. Truly, guys, you should never use Star Wars, because George Lucas has made so many changes that saying the universe, God took the word Luke and added in there. You can't do that, because George has done this millions of times while his movies were still at the theater, not just his remixes that came out on VHS. And what's sad is, Bob, the original reaction, the original Star Wars reaction only got 30,000 views. This one, with the fakery, adding Luke in and adding people's reactions from Infinity War, hit 10 million. 30,000, 10 million. A fakery outview the original clip that this guy took it from, changed it, and added. The guy's a fraud. He's a straight out fraud. And people use this as saying, this is your residue. Dude, you're giving people fake residue. And what it does is why I'm bringing this out is because it embarrasses the community. It embarrasses the Mandela effect community, because how can we come out and say, look, I have some real stuff here. Yeah, but you guys all backed this one video, hit 10 million views. And they're right. People did. People backed fake residue. That's why I've been preaching that fuck residue. Guys, fuck residue. It's a personal feeling you should have. It should be a Mandela effect is like paranormal. It's like, say you believe in Bigfoot. Say you want to research Bigfoot. It's a personal belief. Every effect that happens to me is more of a personal belief than trying to go out and find residue, because the residue you find has probably been falsified and faked, like this one. This is the biggest, #1, most fakery residue on YouTube, and people use it.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful. You gotta use common sense, people. And the reason I'm bringing up Sinbad, Bob, this is the reason why I'm bringing up Sinbad. And I wanted to get, your personal thoughts on the movie that's supposed to be, and I want to get your personal thoughts on the whole thing. And I was going to talk to you about it. before the show. But then I thought, you know what? I want to know your thoughts, and I want to know everybody's thoughts from the chat. I want to bring it out there. I want to talk about this Sinbad character. But before this, I forgot to send myself. I forgot to send myself an email. Give me a second. Because I want to pull this picture up. I apologize. Hopefully your internet's better now.
Yeah, it's going in and out, man. It's actually I found out it's not just me. It's England, or it's where I'm at, in the area I'm at. There's other people with the same problem. They're like, dude, I'm watching you, and my internet's coming off. I go, I know, I don't know why.
A criminal in the chat has been saying that his internet been going crazy the last 2 days.
Yeah. Everything's fine. So I come on. Yesterday was the same thing, and then I got people from England tell me, "Hey, man," I'm listening to me. Hey, dude, mine's going on and off too. Like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't want me to stop.
Hobbs wrote, "Going to make a fakery video. Would be nice to have more than 16 subs. Seriously though, I don't give a fuck about subs." Hey, you're right, and you're right, Hobbs. And subs will come naturally. You don't need to create fake. And not just create. Everybody bends the truth here and there. Let's be honest. Everybody has done that. But when people run with it and saying, this is the evidence that we all been waiting for, and then it's a fakery, and then we tell people that, oh, no, that's not a fakery. That what people are trying to say is a fakery. No, it's a proven fakery, people. So, it's like, dude, a lot of 70. I told people, fuck the residue. It's all personal anyway. Who gives a shit? Yeah. It's all a personal. You can't take away somebody's memories. No. You can't. Like I said.
That's how I know.
Well, Bob, I said I remember the word Luke. Yeah. But that video is fake. Okay? Yeah. It's fake. Now I want to go into okay. I want to talk about Sinbad for a second. Yeah. Sinbad and Bill Murray. And this is the reason why I put a picture of Sinbad and Bill Murray on there. Because that horrible piece of shit Reddit page that they're calling this out, the biggest Mandela effect page on there, right? I decided to go on there and said, hey, what do you guys think of that dramatic change? Bill Murray's red shirt going to 13, right? Yeah. I put that up there. Bunch of people, dude, that is not bigger. Sinbad Shazam is a bigger effect than that could ever be. And then oh, really? Okay. Sinbad is the bigger effect. Okay. No. Let's break this down for a second. Let's have fun with this, Bob. Let's have fun with this. Okay. Now, I've said for me, I believe that a change has to happen for a reason. If there's a change, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be somebody. It could be God, could be heaven, God, Jesus, doesn't matter. It could be another spiritual, could be anything. Something, if there's a change, there's got to be a reason. Something don't change that dramatically just for no reason. There's got to be a reason. And if there's a reason, there's got to be a code. There's got to be something to try to stir us into a direction to find the truth. Yeah. Okay? Kind of like, listen, Tom Cruise sliding across the floor from a white shirt to a pink shirt, sunglasses, no sunglasses. Yeah. Right? All right. That's basically, you can say, well, that's basically, you can also say that's nothing, but there's got to be a reason. It makes you want to study, right? So Bob Wood, Dr. Wu, studied, watched the movie, and he noticed a major, bigger change than him sliding across with a pink shirt. Bob saw that a clock went backwards. Yeah. So basically kind of saying that, guys, maybe all these changes is because of a time travel. And if you look at Tom Cruise's career, tons of movies, probably has a lot of major effects in his movies. And for whatever reason, he's just not in Scientology. He is pretty huge in Scientology. You know, why? You know, that's the challenge. That's the research. That's awesome. Okay. Now, Bill Murray, not just a shirt change in the middle of the summer where guys were wearing t-shirts, he has a red sweater with the number 13. The number 13 all through history has meanings. Friday the 13th has meanings. Bill Murray. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me. I should have had it pulled up. I've been so freaking busy. I had it pulled up, and for some reason I took it down.
What's that?
For a second, hold on. I'm typing this in on purpose. I'm typing in both their names. Okay, here's Sinbad. I got Sinbad here. Okay.
Sinbad. Say that.
Sinbad. Okay, now Bill Murray. You could say his change. Bill Murray has played a lot of movies that has clues in life. The Dead Don't Die. He played in movies like Stripes. There's, Caddyshack. I mean, if you go look at his career here, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me stop this. And let me put the IMDb page, and we're gonna break this shit down right now, once and for all. Now I'm telling you, Bill Murray 13 is so much bigger than fucking Sinbad. It makes your head spin. But if you guys want to say Sinbad's bigger, then you're fucking crazy. Okay, Meatballs, Where the Change, Where the Buffalo Roam, Caddyshack. Okay, he's in movies like Tootsie, playing a movie about a man being a woman. Also, he played in the remake Ed Wood, Planet Outer Space, where he was a man becoming a woman. That's not a clue. Ghostbusters. That movie has no clues. The Razor's Edge, playing a Russian character. That has no clues. Ghostbusters 2. Quick Change, playing a clown. Groundhog Day, about time travel, going back in a day every single day. Okay? Ed Wood, where I said that he's becoming a man to a woman. He was also in Space Jam with Michael Jordan in a cartoon world.
That's actually groundbreaking. If you think about Ed Wood, he was transitioning into a woman.
It is.
It was like, wait a minute, this is way back in the day.
That's my point. That's my point. And we're going to get to Sinbad in a second. Rushmore. Charlie's Angels, he played Lost in Translation. I'm telling you, there's probably a lot of shit in that movie about Lost in Translation that has effects in it. Of course, Garfield plays a cat, even though. Zombieland 2. I mean, there's so many. I'm not naming every single thing, but I'm just naming the ones that we all know. Jungle Book, playing CGI bears, singing and dancing. Okay, Zombieland 2. Ghostbusters, and there's a rumor that he's in a pre-production movie called The Greatest Beer Run Ever.
No way.
Tell me that man doesn't have true meaning of time travel, playing a man to be a woman. Okay, that's Bill Murray. Now let's look at this fucking Sinbad guy who movie disappeared. He's Sinbad. That is such a major. Okay, if it is a major, what's the meaning behind Sinbad? First of all, he's a shitty ass comedian. He was never funny. But let's look at his movies. Let's see anything good. Okay, he's in a part in Meteor Man. Whoopie-doo. TV show. First Kid. Jingle All the Way. Anybody watched that movie was because of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He sucked in it. Okay, let's see. Good Burger. Ready to Run. I'm trying to find any big movies that he has that might has clues and why his movie disappeared. There's got to be a reason why. Yeah. Okay, he played a voice in one of the episode of Family Guy making fun of him. Okay, making fun of himself. Okay, let's see here. Looking for anything huge. The man is a drug addict. He's a piece of shit in life. He's a liar. He played in a series of Cosby Show with a womanizer, Bill Cosby. Okay, Bob. Yeah. I'm lost on this one. You need to help me out. On this one. So Sinbad, according to Reddit, the Mandela effect community says, dude, he's the bigger Mandela effect versus a Bill Murray shirt turning 13. Why? What is the clues that's being left for us for Sinbad to discover? Tell me. I need to know.
Well,
people in the chat. Tell me. People in the chat. What clues is Sinbad bigger than Bill Murray's change? Tell me right now. I need to know.
They must have pissed you off. No, I don't like Reddit anyway. I mean, I'm not a Reddit guy, so I found it.
Bob, it's not just Reddit. People on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sinbad is in everybody's top 10. Okay. Now, you and I believe that changes leads to clues. Okay.
Yeah.
What clues has Sinbad given us?
Well, if you have a child's mind, I guess he's fascinating. I mean, number one, you don't have much of education if you're going to focus on fucking Sinbad. Number one, I saw his movie. I saw the movie. I didn't watch that movie, but I saw it I saw it for rent. I didn't fucking rent it because it's a child's movie. He's a rated G comedian, so people don't like him because he's a G comedian. I remember seeing an interview with the guy. He does family friendly comedy. That's what his theme was. A lot of black artists were doing. They were doing like the let's just say a little bit of the gutter comedy. Eddie Murphy. They were kind of doing the old darker stuff. The more adult friendly comics. But he was a kid's comic, so that's number one. And the movie, I remember everyone said it disappeared. I'm like, well, fucking cares, man. Good riddance. There's so many more things. I find tons of stuff, and it goes over people's heads. They fucking like talking to a bunch of ants. I'm like, did you know that if you study the pantheon of gods, that there's a lot of changes in mythology? Okay, let's go back to Sinbad. Okay, did you know that I just said last week, and thank you for the emails. I've got emails from people. I talked about the Immaculate Conception being changed from Jesus to Mary now, the mother. I appreciate even our cousin chimed in and says, dude, what the fuck? Yeah, isn't that a big doozy or what? That's a big ass change, but zoop, let's go back to Sinbad. So anyway, it's hard for me to have a discussion. It was like, again, it's like going to a fucking kindergarten class and trying to explain to the fucking kids physics. It's like they ain't gonna get it. So I don't know what else. I don't know how to speak stupid. I'll try to speak stupid.
And Bob, I'm not debating. I'm not debating that there wasn't a movie.
Yeah, that was a movie
on how people saying how important this one is, more important than most eating. I'm like, more important than Bill Murray's shirt with a 13 on it. Sinbad's more important than them.
What it told me was, of course, I try to decode it. So it's still on the list. I'm not going to ignore it. So I put it on the list of decoding. So I'm like, what is exactly was he supposed to be? He's a jinn. He's a genie. He's a jinn. Okay, so I looked at all the evidence for jinn, and I'm 100% in my mind, because I'm mentally ill anyway. Who fucking cares? I'm fully convinced that the jinn are fully in full mode, out running around doing shit, knocking things up, pretending to be gods, pretending to be God. The jinn, which are in the Islamic book, if you guys want to look up the actual definition of jinn, which is the same definition as they have as dark angels or the demons, whatever. Anyway, this jinn, which disappeared, so it's telling me to look at the jinn. And first thing I saw it myself, a big ball of what looked like fire in the sky, and it fucking did a weird thing and did like a line, and it disappeared. Jinn come to you in the form of smokeless fire. Jinn means smokeless fire. Some people even argue that I'm not going to get anybody mad out there, but Moses talked to the burning bush. He actually talked to a jinn. He didn't talk to God. God didn't talk to fucking Moses. He talked to a jinn. Again, that ain't me, guys. That you can figure that shit out for you. I'm going back to the definition of smokeless fire, the jinn. So the fact that his disappeared told me to focus in the jinn and learn about the jinn. And then in the process, I've also talked to other people that have seen what they've called a UFO, an unidentified flying object. In the description, how I saw it one time with a fireball that fucking disappeared. It was there and it whoops quiet. And they go, well, that would be the description that I'm reading in the Quran, what a jinn does. So I was just telling people, fuck the fucking movie. It's a code. So I'm just throwing an hypothesis or whatever. I'm throwing something out for an idea that maybe it's wanting you to focus on the jinn or the fallen angel to the Christians that seem to be everywhere at the moment. Like they're fucking in everywhere. They're in everybody. They're possessing anything and everybody. I did a whole show on the fucking jinn. Maybe that's it. So that's the only thing I got on that movie, which is okay. It disappeared. Let's move on to the fucking what's it mean?
Well, probably disappeared because the guy, Sinbad's such a fucking loser. And look, Sinbad confessed Shazaam was real because he's a drug addict. He wants to make any money, popularity he wants. And then you got different people making a fake
Sinbad
covers,
movie.
you know, and it's just for me, it's just when people say this is one of the most important ones, this ain't important. The guy's a fucking loser. I mean, if you want to, I try to look at it, like you said, like you found a good code, you found a good thing. Like I try to look through his movies to see. I looked at his movie list, like, okay, what movie can we say there's a code that we need to look into? He's made nothing.
That's the whole idea. Nothing. Yeah, I think it's just more focused the fact that he played the role of a jinn, and it was a playful role for children. I mean, not all jinn are bad, but there are bad jinn, and he's playing a genie, showing the kids that I can give you gifts. I can do things for you. I can create things for you. I can give you a future. I can give you millions and millions and millions of dollars. A jinn can do any of these things because they're in the other world. They've got everything. God gave them everything. They're a failed group because they've gotten everything. It's heaven. They're in heaven. They've got the all-you-can-eat taco bar. They've got everything. There's your heaven, fucking Christians. A jinn has heaven. They've got everything they ever need. They got everything. The thing is, they got everything except for what they don't have is what humans have. That's a soul. That's hardships. That's living. That's the first kiss, the first dance, the first broken leg. I don't know what you want to fucking call it. Whatever that first thing was, they don't have it. So now they want it, and they want to possess you, and they're possessing people theoretically. They're the ones at the crossroad. It stands there like Eric. We talk about the crossroad. They're really, what do you want? That's the jinn. That's the jinn pretending to be God. And so a lot of people are actually worshiping these guys by accident. They think they're gods. They're not gods. So the jinn. So that's all I got out of that. That's the only thing I figured. Well, I'll look into what jinn are because this thing was there, and for some reason it's vanished from the books, from antiquity, from everything. I'm like, where the fuck did this movie go? That's all I can say about it. I don't even know if it was made. Was it fake to begin? I don't know. I can't tell you anything about it. I can tell you that I remember it on the shelf, and it's gone. And apparently it's never been made. And then they even asked him, and he's like making fun of the idea. He's making a joke about it. And now that his career is pretty much flattened out, now he's back trying to get his career back by saying he remembers the movie.
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean.
Maybe
that's what I mean.
Signed the contract with the jinn.
That's what I mean. I mean, this guy, I mean, it's like the clue stops there, man. I mean, at least Bill Murray, you start looking into his whole career stuff about time travels, paranormals, and it's like that all makes sense. It's like
everything.
It's like to me when I look at the red sweater with a 13 on it, it basically saying 13 marks a spot. You need to really look at this guy. Yeah. Look at his career. Shazaam, like you said, it's so bad that it doesn't even exist. There is not even something that that you can go off of, because any footages there is, it's all been faked.
Yeah.
It's all been changed. That's the only thing about Shazam is you have to go off of pure memory, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he played the role of a djinn, and for whatever reason, the other side pulled it because they didn't want him moving something into a direction it wasn't supposed to happen, or something in the past has changed, which led up to him not making the movie and choosing another actor for it. That maybe and I don't know this guy, so I'm not going to be putting him down. Maybe he does have a good heart. Maybe he's Christian. Maybe he maybe he joined I don't know. Maybe he's into the Torah. I don't know. Maybe he got religion and all of a sudden the djinn didn't have power on him or whatever decision, and his ass is saved and he didn't make it, but Shaq did.
No offense,
maybe
but
Shaq's a rotten fuck too.
It's always funny how
Shaq's a rotten idiot. What's that?
It's always funny how when you hit rock bottom, drug addicts, whatever, you're a criminal and all that, somehow magically you found God, and God's
so maybe my guess is that he did find some sort of religion, and maybe that religion corrected a bad mistake by having him play that role, and they gave it to Shaq because Shaq is also known to be a slime ball, womanizer, horrible fucking human being. They plays the part of the good guy, but maybe he signed a contract with a djinn and he got the role. So maybe people that signed the contract with the guy at the crossroads, a djinn, get those roles. Maybe because he backed out of it and became good, that role disappeared. I don't know. I'm taking random guesses, completely probably wrong. But here's his famous 13, which he did not have that shirt on.
No. And furthermore, 13 is not a bad luck number. Just put our belief. Southern Well, you're absolutely right. It's not a bad number. I think 13 is like X marks the spot. This is where you need to start your investigation. This is the group you need to start your investigation right here. That's what I'm saying. 13 is, to me, is like an X marks spot. X-Files, whatever, marks the spot.
13.
My point is, my opinion, this change is so much bigger than Shazam, Sinbad.
No.
It makes your head hurt.
It even looks like it says God behind him. There's a G in the corner. There's an O. And that's another G. Is that Gog or God? Hot dog. Oh, hot dog backwards would be God. So I don't know. Maybe it's saying God. Maybe it's saying God backwards. I don't know. Hot dog.
It could be.
And I've seen at one part, and I actually saw that. And one part, his head covers the hot.
That's my point. There's more clues. There's more story theories with this. I mean, just go to his Groundhog Day, going back in time every single day. I mean, there's more stuff with this change versus the Sinbad, and I need people to get their heads kind of out of their ass, out of the pop culture side of Mandela effect, and start really searching. If there's a change, ask yourself, okay, if there's a change here, why? And then what do you do? Like you said, Bob, one of the most main things you do, take out a piece of paper, take out a pencil, start writing things down. Is there a code? Is there a number? With this change, the number is directly on his shirt. You find codes like a week ago, the intro song for our show, a band member died at the age of 58. Bob goes, Eric, 5 and 8, 13. Isn't it kind of weird? You name your show after the band and you play his music, and one of the band members who died equals to 13. I'm not saying it was meant for a super release for a show, but there's a connection.
Yeah, just like all the scores you see always in. Anyway, there's like somebody put out there, you can always find a number if you look for it, and that is 100% correct. I can find a 13 in anything. However, it's how it's presented. If it's basic, it's simple. It's got to be something. So, because if they're talking to you, whatever is talking to you, God or fucking Anunnaki or whatever your goddamn camp is, I don't care. It's talking to you with basics. There's no subtracting, no this, and it's just right there. The number will be there. It'll be just there.
A white shirt, whole movie, And this is a brand new sweater. When you watch the clip, it's a brand new sweater, and everybody else who's watching this hot dog is wearing T-shirts.
Yeah, and if you look at it, every once in a while,
telling you something.
Well, his head kept blocking at one point. I was looking, and it was saying dog, but it was like I see Bill Murray standing there with a 13, and then behind his head I saw the word dog, and of course it's God backwards, and I'm like, that's weird. Yeah, see, there it is. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's God backwards, and it kept showing up every time. He kept moving his head. It was eating the hot dogs. Bill Murray was in a perfect view of 13, and you kept seeing God dog backwards. And I was like, do you need to be fucking hand-fed this shit? Are you that stupid that you can't see? Well, no, it's the director deliberately trying. Okay, it was the director who got a phone call from the fucking guys behind the curtain. Make sure you put God in the background, and make sure you have him wear a 13. We're all planned. Everybody's on the same fucking plan sheet. Good. Let me call the other fucking movie theaters and make sure they all plan the same fucking number game. Come on, man.
Now, Bob, if you accept that theory that the director did on purpose, then you can say the same thing about Sinbad. The director pulled the movie out on purpose to get the theory talk more popular, and maybe 10 more years later. Hey, look, we actually do have the original Shazaam movie. Here, watch it, make money.
Again, it did go AWOL. I don't know what happened to that movie, but it went AWOL. I left it at that. There was 1,000 more fucking things that are more important to look at. And so all I can get out of the Sinbad movie is it was talking about the jinn. And to me, the jinn are really important. For those of you that are into the other books, Christians and the Torah, then you're into the fallen angels or the demons, the fucking dark side people, the same as the jinn. So it's the same thing in all the religions across the fucking board. You got some baddies, as the British say, in the netherworld playing with fucking people. So be careful out there. I keep telling people, be careful, especially now.
You need to be careful.
So much anger from people. People are going excessively angry every day, and the world is underwater, as Danny puts it. I'm in Europe. Everything's flooding. Just the other day we had a massive fucking, and it was like large hailstones smashing in fucking things over there in London. Germany's getting hit again. More fucking swamp waters, and China's fucking underwater. Bridges or dams are crashing in. These things are happening all over the place, and all everybody talks about is that stupid ass fucking whatever COVID. What? And then you've got these codes coming to people that you should be reading and writing down and keeping your mouth shut. Just write it down.
Bob, people don't want to. They don't want to research, Bob. They want to be spoon-fed, and that's the whole point of so far in this whole show today, where people want to be spoon-fed so badly they can't open their own mind and start looking into it. Like when I show when 75% of people in the community was following a fake video, and then when they found out that was fake, they still can't accept that. They're like making up excuses. Guys, don't make up excuses. Move on. Listen, if somebody came out and told Bob and I a certain reason why the Sinbad movie was pulled off or why the 13 was put on, that's what we want. Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear a reason why. You should not want to. You shouldn't just sit on your own memory and not accept anything.
Yeah, I don't like people anyway. I highly recommend you guys go watch Ceiling Fan Man. Please go enjoy yourself. Follow him wherever he goes, and bring your wallet with you. There's groups out there and channels. I want you to pay them money. I want you to follow them as far away from me as you can, because I don't want stupid standing around me.
No.
Please go.
No. And
if that movie is that important to you, please go find a cult group that really cares about it, and just stick with just the movie message. No codes involved.
And the exact same people, plus another channel that I stopped watching is when they kept saying, guys, there's no reason to don't do no research. Don't do anything. That's not worth it. What they're really telling you is I'm gonna spoon feed you this, but I don't want you to research my own bullshit.
Yeah,
That's
I'm like
exactly what it is. And it's time for people to wake the fuck up and start doing, take out paper, research everything, people. Yeah. And listen, and I'm not talking about people just go to Bob said it before. If it's on the internet, it doesn't mean exactly true. And he's absolutely right. That's why when you research, you got to research with multiple sites and try to gather things here, and then try to find channels that are not related to this group and try to find similarities. And that's where you start to get your truth. But the people Bob's talking about want to spoon feed you the fakery, like that fake Star Wars reaction video. It's sad. And it's very sad.
Yeah, I don't mind. Somebody was putting out like what I found out, what I discovered was guys. This is all the truth. Go ahead, or you have something to say?
No.
I discovered something. If you want to find something on the internet, you're gonna find it. Somebody was putting out this fucking this one guy. He's a fucking asshat, and he keeps putting out all this residual shit he finds, like New York. I found a guy who also remembered the misspelling. New York was spelt like this, Nuer, like this fucking stupid ass spelling. And then he shows all the residual in the old papers about the misspelling. I'm like, let me go find a paper called New Dork. I'm gonna find it. See if I can find New Dork. And I typed it in, and I found New Dork. And I'm like, oh, well, there's a misspelling for. I remember when it was New Dork, not New York. I swear. Oh, I'll find your residual. Look, there it is. I'll make a video about it saying New Dork. Like, you could find it on anything. Yeah. You could say New York was called New Turd. I find you. You want a toe? I'll find you a toe. I'll get you a toe at the end of the day. You know, from the movie The Big Lebowski. You need a toe? I'll find you a toe. You want New Dork? I'll find you New Dork. I can find you anything on the internet.
Hold on. First of all, I want to thank Queen of Swords saying great show, working but listening. Thank you very much. There's an alternative news channels, international. Search around, search around, and then why is he lying about it now? Not very Christian. Well, first of all, I don't know exactly what person you're talking about, not very Christian, but you got to ask yourself, was that person even a Christian in the first place? Remember, some of these people, listen, what people don't understand is like I'm not going to get into war with CFM, but the man came out of Hollywood. He worked in Hollywood. I like it. He gets residue money from Hollywood. So you want to talk about knowing how to fake the world? I mean, it's right there in front of your face, and nobody wants to believe it. But the man is fucking Hollywood. I can't believe the stupidity of people. But guys, the reason I called it the double feature with Wizard of Oz, because when you think of Wizard of Oz, that's a movie where you got to sit back and say, there's a lot of shit that goes on in that movie. There's a lot of clues. There's nothing really in Sinbad. Maybe one or two Bob found. But when you think of movies like Wizard of Oz, that's some heavy stuff that's in that movie. Black and white, the color, Yellow Brick Road, all these witches hitting your shoes. I mean, and there's stories about the Scarecrow. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in Wizard of Oz. That's a true movie that has so many different meanings. That's a hell of a good research. I think Bob's frozen. Bob, are you frozen? Bob? Hello? I think Bob got frozen. I think the internet got tired of him. I'll kick him back out, and I'll send him. I'll send him another invite. Get him back up here. Let me. Yeah, there's been a lot of weird things going on in Europe with their internet. Or is it weird? Or are they doing it on purpose? So, I live in the Emerald City. Yep, chocolate and cheese. Yes, we do. We live in the great great overpriced city now. So let me see here. I need my greens, please, and prefer the silver things. Nah, Bob is standing really still. Probably is, right? Probably is. Ton man change 2. Tin man change 2. Yeah, that's why I brought that up, because then there's real stuff that really has changes, and people on Reddit, and I also brought up Wizard of Oz. Oh, here's Bob. And the reason I also bring up Wizard of Oz, because people, are you frozen again?
Maybe.
Your mouth's not moving. Are you there?
I don't know. I'm halfway here.
Hello?
Am I here? I don't know.
According to Hob,
I'm moving.
According
I think
to
I'm
Hob,
moving. Am I moving?
I think you're moving very slowly. We had number of thunderstorms over the last couple of days in the UK. So that could be your reason. And so this is always fun times. Now, the reason I'm bringing up Wizard of Oz also, and then after that, there's the same groups on that Reddit, on that Mandela Effect Reddit page. 75% of them were also saying Sinbad movie has greater Mandela effects in the world than the movie Wizard of Oz. And I'm like, really? Then Wizard of Oz? Are you serious? And I don't understand the stupidity of people. Where is this all coming from? Here, let's look up the article of let's just hear some of the things about Wizard of Oz, even in the first place. Okay, the Scarecrow in Wizard of Oz has a gun. Now let's start there first. Let's start there. I know there's a lot of older people that watch the show like us. All people in the chat. Let's talk about this in the first place. Do you guys remember the Scarecrow having a gun? So let me know. Yes or no. Just put yes or no. So people in the chat, do you remember the Scarecrow ever having a gun in the movie Wizard of Oz? I want to hear what you guys think. And then maybe that'll give time for Bob. So Chocolate Cheese says no, he don't remember. All right.
Okay, testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, can you hear me?
Testing.
I can hear the word.
Yeah,
testing.
I'm actually trying a new device.
Okay.
I'm trying a new device.
So far, Bob, I'm asking people in the chat, do they remember the Scarecrow having a gun in the movie Wizard of Oz? And so far, this is what I got. Chocolate and Cheese says no gun. Hobbs, no. Long Reach 1, no. Sketches, no. And Gainer, if only had a gun. Now, of course, somebody put a gun in his face. Now, my memory is I never saw a physical gun with the Scarecrow at all. But I thought I remember him having a holster for the gun.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, but I never remember him actually having a gun. Before we get to the Tin Man, what do you remember, Bob, about the Scarecrow in the Wizard of Oz?
Well, number one, I wasn't a major fan of the Wizard of fucking Oz, but I could tell you what I remember. And that's how this game goes. Like, when people ask me, I'm gonna tell you the fucking truth. This is how I remember it, and that's that. No, he didn't have no fucking pistol. He never had a pistol ever had a pistol. There's no reason for him to have a pistol. When it comes down to the shoes, she didn't have no bows on her fucking shoes either. No bows on her shoes.
Well, hold on. We're not with the shoe part yet. But hold on. So we're gonna get to that one. So as of right now, I think the majority says no gun for the Scarecrow, and that's cool.
No gun.
Now,
Scarecrow didn't have a gun.
Okay, so we know that part, and I kind of agree. I never saw a physical gun on him at all. But now people remember changes with the Tin Man. So some of you, I think, already said in the chat, you remember some changes with the Tin Man. First of all, yes or no, if you remember changes with the Tin Man, and if it is a yes, right next to the yes on what are the changes do you remember with the Tin Man? Let me see here. Wizard of Oz has been on TV every Christmas for as long as I can remember. No gun.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my main thing is you're right, and that's the problem too, Wizard of Oz, because Wizard of Oz. That's the problem too, Hobbs, because when movies went to TV, there are changes that they do to these movies for TV because they got to cut down the movie to make sure it fits in the time slot, and sometimes they take out parts, they add stuff to make it fit. So it is very hard, especially on an older movie. So let me see here. Okay, Criminals remembers Tin Man didn't have that big wrench. Bob, do you remember the Tin Man having a big wrench?
No, none of them have weapons. They didn't have those. To me, are weapons. They've got weapons. So, a defense weapons. It's a child's show. They didn't have weapons. He didn't have a big ass wrench. None of them. He didn't have a Tin Man didn't have a gun. Oh, I mean, a Scarecrow didn't have a gun, and Tin Man did not have a big ass fucking wrench. He also had a heart, or didn't have a heart. He got a heart later, but it was. He also had like a little opening on his right or left side where his heart would be, like a little opening drawer. But anyway, no wrench, man. There was no weapons involved in this movie. It's passive. The child's movie. Yeah, that's what I got to say about that one.
Oh, that's.
What the fuck is that? Is that a sledgehammer? What is
Yeah,
that
it's supposed to be a large sledgehammer. So I'm trying to look at other pictures because I don't remember no sledgehammer. And then here, now, like I said, some of these can be fakeries too. Here he has an axe.
Yeah, the axe he had. I think he had an axe.
You guys remember him having an axe? Let me see here. I remember the axe, but now it's a wrench.
Yeah, I remember he had an axe.
My son was the Tin Man in a play. No wrench and a clock chain seems bigger. Okay.
Yeah, he was cutting firewood. Wasn't he? He was cutting firewood.
Well, when they met him, he couldn't even move, so they had to put oil on him.
Yeah, because he was cutting firewood, and then he got caught in the rain and he rusted.
And then Ed Gaynor said he had an axe in a play. Okay.
No, because he was cutting wood, and that's when he was cutting wood in the forest as a robot, and then he fucking froze. He rusted in one spot while cutting wood, in the midst of cutting wood.
And then the Cowardly Lion grew bigger balls at the end. I remember the axe. Okay, I remember the axe.
Yeah.
Glenn's crown looks more powerful.
It's them fucking bows that are throwing me off.
Now let's look at Wizard of Oz. Let's type in shoes. Wizard of Oz shoes. Now let's get to the shoe part. Wizard of Oz shoes. Let's see here.
He had red glitter shoes, no bows, and white socks. She had white socks, and she had no bows on her shoes.
All right. Okay. So let's say that then. Okay. Now. Okay. Let's go with that. Let's think about this now. This is where we all do our research. This is what's fun about this. Okay. So you're remembering no ribbons, and you remember white socks. So now she has blue socks and she has ribbons. Okay. So basically, for that, X marks the spot. They want us to look at that, and then you got the witch with your green hands wanting those shoes because the shoes has the power to, basically make you disappear. You could say in some ways, maybe time travel.
Yeah, there's a damn helicopter over where I'm at. Anyway,
or Bob, multiverse, because remember, to go back to her world, she needs to take the shoes. All that. So let's think about this. Let's think about this in the long run here. Okay, so far, you have shoes with
well, hold on. What's the color blue? Anybody remember from the last show? What is blue? Tell me, somebody, what is blue?
Well, blue equals 13.
Blue equals 13, correct. Blue equals 13. For those of you who watched the last show, you got to go back. Now, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. I'm just giving you the idea of how to figure it out. So if you look up B, L, U, E, you're going to come up with the numbers. You're going to add them all together. You're going to have a 13. So that's 13. Now, the bows, this is just me, though, guys, and I'm probably wrong. So don't quote me. Especially just make fun of me like everyone else does. I'm a fucking crazy person. But another thing to do with bows, you know your constellations. And if you guys remember, you guys remember Sagittarius. Sagittarius is where that dominant memory that I have coming from. Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius. Look at the symbol for Sagittarius. It's a man, or it's a horseman, whatever, satire or whatever he is, holding a bow. Eric, holding a bow and arrow. He's shooting an arrow. He's holding a bow and arrow. So I'm thinking the bows represent Sagittarius. I'm just saying, because I've seen bows pop up everywhere. I think even the lion has a red bow in his hair now too. It's a red bow in his hair. And I don't think anybody's even talked about that. Did anybody talk about the fucking lion's red bow in his hair yet?
I know.
Yeah. But there's the bow again. The bow is significant in this fucking I've seen bows pop up on everything and everywhere. And that represents Sagittarius. That's the bow in the constellation. Go ahead.
No, that's awesome, because listen, the bow is leading up to the White Sox becoming Blue Sox. Blue is 13. Okay. And you have in the Tom Cruise movie, Risky Business, with the clock going backwards. I remember you did some math, and that kind of led to 13. And then, of course, Bill Murray with 13. What does one thing that all these movies kind of have? A multiverse, time travel kind of a deal. It's like there's a relation to all of this. I know there's some people believe, well, time travel, multiverse can never be part of the fact. Really? I'm going to beg the difference, because if you pick up on the clues, 13 marks the spot. Blue is 13. Bows, 13. The clock going backwards in Risky Business. I don't think you can say multiverse or time travel is involved with the changes. I don't know how you could.
It depends on what camp you come from. There's multiple camps. The one camp is that you have something that went into the past that's causing a butterfly effect and changing the decisions of the future. That's one camp, like you're talking about. Second camp is that we're in a simulation. That this is, as somebody would put it, we're just living out our lives like in the holodeck deck or whatever, like on Star Trek. And that everything in here, the machine is giving us clues on what's going on, where we're headed. It's all signs for where you came from, and all these different little symbols, like a game, like a Sims game. We're just living in a hologram, but this hologram can kick you in the balls, and you can also get fired from your job and starve a little bit. But I'm telling everyone, hang in there. You're not dead. As long as you're not dead, you're fine. I live out of a backpack, so get over it. With almost no money in my pocket. I have nothing right now. So anyway, we could be living in a hologram, or we could be living exactly where we're supposed to be living. No matter where we are, it's one fucking timeline. Everything's just changing around us. And there seems to be some sort of deity doing it that's kind of letting you know that, hello, I'm back, kind of a deity, if you're in the religious camp. So there's multiple different camps. It depends on where you're coming from. As long as you're not eating babies and lying to everybody, you're going to be fine, no matter what you think you're coming from. But yeah, Eric, that's kind of how we're sitting there. Yeah. And then the other camp is that nothing's happening at all. business as usual. Let's go back to work and ignore everything that's happening around us. Just completely ignore it. This is nothing happening. No big deal. Back to your whatever NPC world. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, that's one way of looking at things. Is all of this has none of this has ever changed. Everything everybody's making it all up. Okay, everything's normal. Okay, of course that's one. And then of course you got the camp that says, "Look at these changes. If you don't believe in it, you're an idiot." There's that camp. There's all those people in that camp.
Yeah.
If you want to follow those people, go for it. Or the third camp is there is a change. And we're trying to find out why. What does it all mean? What if there's a change? There's a reason.
It's puzzle. It's like our dad did. Remember, he did crossword puzzles all the time. Dad did crossword puzzles every fucking day. I love challenges. I love games. You used to be a Rubik's Cube head. You'd fucking do it under a minute. You'd fucking do the whole damn Rubik's Cube when you're a little kid. You Eric, ironically, you did the triangle Rubik's Cube. You would do it under
the pyramid.
Yeah, you would do the pyramid. How weird is that? You would do the pyramid Rubik's Cube. You would do it under a fucking minute, the whole damn thing when you're a little kid. So everything up to this point for everybody in the sidebar and everybody out there, everything in your life is kind of destined you to this point. Everything you've ever done, like little weird things that you thought that were nothing, but now it's significant. It's just like, wow, I can't believe I did this or that. And now we're in this place, seeing these messages.
If people don't know what we're talking about with Rubik Cube, this is what we're talking about. You have the normal squares, but there was also a Rubik's Cube that's shape of a pyramid. And for whatever reason, the pyramid always fascinated me more than a square, because the square is just like a square is a square, but a pyramid, this is power.
Yeah, you didn't like the square one, and so Dad bought you the triangle one, and you were fucking, because you wouldn't play with the square one, and Dad bought you the triangle one, and you were snapping it out in under a minute, like completely done. Like, what the heck? How you doing?
I remember that. These were fun.
Yeah, that's what you used to play with.
Yeah, those are fun.
You used to fucking throw a tantrum if we touched it. If me and Mike touched it, you get all pissed off. Like, we couldn't touch it.
These are what you call poor man's toys. Poor man's toy. We can't get you a real big toy, but I got you this.
You walk around with that fucking thing in your hand all the time. We'd take it away from you, and then we'd fucking screw it all up on purpose. And then you would scream and yell until you got it back. And then you got it back, and you're like, ugh! And then you'd fucking redo it back to its normal, all sides were the same color again.
But if you think about playing, it's like we all been trained somewhat to start looking into the future with squares and pyramids and using codes, getting the colors back. Because the square itself, even though I like the pyramid, playing with the pyramid better than the square, but the square has been in so many like movies like Hellraiser, the square to decode it, to find heaven and hell through it, to find ultimate sex using the square. I mean, these shapes all had meaning. Of course, back then you weren't thinking of it, but if you think about it, we're all being trained when we're young.
Yeah, everybody. I keep laughing because like like Moses has horns now, and so does all the biblical characters that were significant have horns on their head. Even Zeus has horns. I mean, all these, and then you and I, we lived in a ghetto called Horns Manor when we were kids growing up. When our mom left, Horns Manor, and I'm like, well, that's fucking not weird. And then I did a paper, like a multi 8, 9, 10 page fucking paper in college, on the use of horns in ceremonies, and I'm like, this is all, because of the past. I know what's going on now. Everything is easy to decode because based off what I've done in the past. Everybody's like that, though. Well, here we go. We got this.
Well, it's always been happening. Just that's just the way it is. Always have been. Human beings only see something change, and then only when they are older. Since the beginning of time, where things. I mean, that's a true statement. I mean, that is a true statement. I mean. Changes has always been happening, and I think what has happened, this is just my opinion, that of course money and greed gets involved. So when you have people like Fiona Broom, who's trying to make money off her books, her and the editor made up the name Mandela, Mandela effect. And then what happens is when people put a name with this phenomenon that's been happening for years after years after years, and then you have the pop culture people put in the top 40 and top 10. And then what happens is throughout now, people can't get their head out of their own ass. They only want to stick with the top 40 and top 10. And that's fine if you want to talk about in the top 40. But the thing is, what I'm saying is people don't talk about it as, okay, there's change. What's the meaning? Why is there a change? What has happened in 75% of the people in communities that they want to popcorn feed you, baby feed you, and say, if you don't believe in this, you're stupid. But take the stupid part out. But why? You know, the question is why. And I don't talk about going down a rabbit hole where it's going to ruin your whole life, because it shouldn't ruin your life. This should be like Bob saying, our father used to take a newspaper out and play the puzzle, trying to figure it out. That's how I look at it. I don't have this run my life. It's fun, like Bob's saying. Use numbers. You're talking to Bigfoot Anonymous on Wednesday saying, you get it. Use the numbers. Have fun with it. Don't let it ruin your life.
Not everybody's tuned into it. You know, you don't have to be. It's just, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But some people are tuned into colors. Like Uni Mundi, he sees color patterns constantly in everything. And so some people are tuned into different things. Texas Danny, you know, he worked with maps and stuff, so he could see the topography changes constantly. That's how he wakes up. So everybody has a niche. Everybody has their own thing. Nobody's the same. Everybody's got something to bring to the fucking table, to the dinner table, to the Last Supper, whatever you want to call it. It's the dinner table. Everybody has something. It is like you could. Some people see the weather. Some people are into the astrology. See if the astrology's changed. Some people are rounded in all different weird areas and disciplines. You see multiple things that are fucking. What the hell is this change to it? I was just talking about the other day to somebody. I sent him a letter or an email. I was talking to somebody. I said, dude, I was talking about Dionysus, the god. I said, you know, he was born from Zeus's leg now. He was. And the person's like, no, it was always Athena was the only one ever born from Zeus's body. He said, not anymore. Now she got a brother who's born from fucking Zeus's body. So even the gods in mythology have changed. All the stories have changed.
And that's
the Bible
major stuff.
Everything.
That's major clues.
Everything that a man has wrote.
Yeah. But Bob, that's the problem. Nobody talks about that. I mean, they want to talk about Jiffy. Peanut butter over and over again. And then when you listen to people talk about Jiffy, look at all these misspelled words. Great. Fantastic. Misspelled words. But what's behind the Jiffy? Who made it? Who came up with the name? Nobody does that. And you're talking about gods giving birth through a freaking leg. That's fucking major. Nobody talks about it. Nobody.
But this, though, I mean, I'm not going to hate people for I don't care what they bring to the table. Like some people talk about the spelling changes, right? And I can't contribute because I'm a bad speller. I can't spell for shit. But what I can do is look at the debate about the spelling of a word and say, wait a minute now. I don't know about you guys. I'm not looking at the spell. What I'm looking at is that the word is now went from a masculine to a feminine. Because I look at the words as where they come back to the root of it. The root would be Latin. It's a combination of Germanic and Latin. So the word has Latin, and then Latin A is an A is feminine and an E is masculine. So a word will have a masculine to a feminine change, or a feminine to a masculine. It's just changing. It's changing dominance. It's changing who's. It's the same thing with Immaculate Conception. It was Jesus, and now it's Mary, his mother. So again, a word that someone brings up that I'm not part of the word change Mandela effect crowd, but when I look at it, I go, oh, I see the difference. It just went from a feminine to a masculine. That's the whole difference with the fucking change. So don't argue about don't go looking for residual. Just look at what it has changed in it.
Yeah.
Masculine. It went from an A to an E, or an A to an I. It went from in Latin terms, it went from feminine to masculine to feminine. Statue of Liberty went from feminine to masculine. Tom Cruise went from masculine to feminine. Everything's just the same thing as the words. So people talk about Jiffy. Now, what's the extra F and the Y? Well, the F and the Y are significant. Why is the F significant? Why is the Y significant?
Yeah.
There's all these little things you got to look at. So break them down. Just look at what it is. Even the smallest change will have a huge code to it. That's how I see it. That's how I break it down. It's toys, it's codes, like a damn Rubik's Cube or a crossword puzzle. Best way to look at it. If you can. If you can. I mean, good luck, everybody. Not everyone can do that.
Black cubes everywhere.
Yes, black cube.
On the realm. Discover in Spanish. Des QB RTO.
I mean, put up a word that's it's a Mandela effect change word, and we'll see if it's a feminine or a masculine. What it used to be in your memory to what it is now.
Let me see here.
But you got to go through
effects word changes.
But see, the problem again with the word changes are you got to deal with the European spelling to the American spelling. They're different. So once you get past all of that you got to see if that's the issue first. You got to debunk first. Though I'd say 99.9% of the time it's a European spelling that made its way to the States because we have this thing called internet, mass communication. So internet, the spellings of Americans are changing to European spellings.
Of course, right here, 50 Mandela effects. Of course, number one is Jeff versus Jiffy.
Yeah. So you're looking at the F and the Y. Now, why is that? Let's look at F first. So F is, give me a sec. I doubt it. I start like this first. So the first one is an F. Let me look at F. So F is a 6. Okay, so we got 6. And Y is, where the hell's Y at? Oh, Y is Y is 25. So that's a 7. So 25 is a 7 because it's 5 plus 2 is 7. And F is a 6. So what does 6 and 7 spell, Eric?
13.
Okay, so there's your fucking answer. So the F and the Y on Jiffy, the old F and the Y, which is now missing, comes out to 25 and 6, which is 2 plus 5 is 7. So basically, it's 13. So we're looking at 13. So there's your answer for Jiffy.
Then here's a word change right here. A word change. Oscar Mayer to Oscar Mayer, 2 different ways.
Yeah, Oscar Mayer. Okay, so A is feminine and E is masculine. So now you have an A and an E again. That's what I was talking about. So now you went from feminine to masculine. You should understand that's the answer to that one. That's the feminine to masculine change.
Y equals 25.
Yeah. Y equals 25. So you're going to add 2 plus 5. So you're just going to put all the numbers down. You're not going to add them up number by number by number. So that's how it works when you do the Pythagorean math thingy, blah, 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 which they've been doing since long, like Plato and all the secret society.
Walk the Plank wrote, Immaculate Conception. How does anyone know that hasn't changed before? It could have been the conception of the 3 wise men before. It's just no one remembers.
Well, yeah, I see where this person's coming from. Because the problem with that argument is that if everything's been changing all the time, then you wouldn't know it anyway. So basically, Eric could have been a sister of mine just about, like 3 months ago, and Eric could have always been a girl. Then all of a sudden, we had a change, and Eric's a guy, and my memory went along with it. So Eric's always been a guy for me, and technically he's been a woman. You don't know what's changed if you don't have the memory of it changing.
What is this one? And Gainer wrote Mandela fee 13 points.
Okay, yeah. If you're doing the math on it, you just gotta look it up. There's ways of breaking these things down. There are ways of breaking these words down. I'm sticking with simple. I'm just doing like the F plus the Y. And then I'm doing like, if it's an A and now it's an E, then it went from feminine to masculine.
I watch kung fu movies dubbed with subtitles. They never match up. That's that is 100% true, my friend. That is 100% true.
That's
You know how many subtitles I have watched with misspelled words because they're being written, Japan with the subtitles and stuff?
Yeah, but I guys, I watch everything in subtitles, by the way. I always watch everything in subtitles because I like to see what it actually says at the bottom.
What? Yes, that's exactly it. Eric could have been a girl.
Exactly. Eric could have been a girl, and I would have never known because I've taken the memory. If the change was there, and I mean, one day maybe a cousin of ours can go, "Hey, let me tell you, man, dude, Eric used to be a girl." I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. I think that person's crazy. No, he's always been a guy. No, he was a girl. Shut the fuck up. He would sound crazy to me. It's basically me going up to somebody and saying, "Do you remember when the Statue of Liberty was on Ellis Island?" Shut the fuck up, man. Are you crazy? No, I'm serious. It was on Ellis Island. Shut the fuck up. It's the same thing. They don't have the memory of it, but I do. So someone come up to me and said, Eric used to be a girl. His name was Erica. No, man. He's always been Eric.
I remember now. He was prettier than Dolly. Can I say I was prettier than Dolly?
Eric was a beautiful girl. Some of them in the sidebar remember, Eric, you was a woman. You were just a woman, not even 2 weeks ago.
Now here's a word swap: Sex in the City, Sex and the City, in and the and. Yeah,
sex in and sex and. There's that and again. There's an and the. You gotta find the context for the. That's up for debate. I mean, people in the sidebar need to help me out with that one. Some of the bands now come out with the name the in front of it. It's the. Like the something. It's the something when it used to be just that word. And now it's an and. And is also in the Bible now. You don't end a sentence with a period and start a sentence with an and. You don't do it. You don't start a sentence with an and that's all through the Bible now. It's a lot of sentences start with and. And I'm like, oh, that ain't correct. If I did that in college, I would have got my ass I would have got a fail on my fucking paper. Started a sentence with and. But that's another significant one that people need to kind of figure out. I think the is masculine and to be feminine. I don't know on that one. That one's stumping me a little bit with the thes and the and.
Well, what if the word the is basically telling you it's not about feminine or man or woman, whatever. Yeah. Maybe it's telling you should look into this one subject more because there's a clue in here to something.
Yeah.
Like showing you the X marks the spot.
Well, here we go. Interview with a vampire. Now I remember that interview with a vampire. Now it's interview with the vampire. So here's the question for you in the sidebar that can help out with this one. I don't have the sidebar. I can't read it. What does it mean to you when you hear an interview with the vampire? How does that make you feel inside? As opposed to interview with a vampire. Now, personally, when I say interview with a vampire, the vampire to me has a personality. It's more of a human. It's got more of a human emotion to it. To a vampire, it's a little more respectful. I feel it's respectful, but in this place, it's interview with the vampire, and to me, it means a little more disrespect. That's how I'm doing it. That's how I feel about it. So, interview with the vampire means it's a disrespectful, nasty thing. The vampire. As an interview with a vampire gives them respect. So now in this place, vampires get no respect. They're just garbage. Is it because vampires are technically evil, even though they're cool to people, and it's telling you that don't give respect to them nasty ass vampires because they're bad? Is it saying that the royal family are vampires? Don't give them no respect?
Well, technically, the Tom Cruise character was the mean vampire, and Brad Pitt was the feminine vampire.
Yeah, masculine and feminine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though that Tom Cruise was pursuing Brad Pitt, though. Now Brad Pitt looked feminine, but he liked the ladies. Now Tom Cruise was pursuing. So it seems to me that Tom Cruise was the top, and then Brad Pitt was the bottom in his eyes. I don't know how that works with the gay community. But so anyway, so how do you guys feel about that when it comes down to the philosophy of the and a? To me, A gives more respect to whatever it is you're talking to, and the puts them down several notches on the list. That's how I feel about it. So when a change comes to that, you're putting down whoever they are on the list. I can't see the sidebar, so I don't know what people are saying.
A lot of people wrote like, Prenta wrote a vampire. Chocolate and Cheese wrote the letter A. And then I Have Sex in the City perfume. Okay. Ann Gaynor wrote the letter A. Walk the plank. A vampire means that there is more than one. The means the only one.
Okay, there it is. That works too. Mine's a little more like it's degrading them a little bit down a notch. It's not giving them respect, but yeah, that's it too. A vampire means there's more than one. So we're talking about a more that in this case, this person has respect for vampires. The means that the only one. Okay.
And Texas Danny wrote an indication to status vacant.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so I feel like when something has been changed to a it puts them down a notch on status with one of the vampires. Okay, so you have another one. She's the same exact way. She agrees with Walk the Plank.
Then Print wrote with one of the vampires, and then Anne.
So now we're talking.
Now then Anne wrote, he wasn't the only one. Most Mandelas involved a degradation in appearance, origin, or grammar.
So now we're getting down to it. Thank you, the ladies have it tells me that the women are all on that same page where it comes down to A just means like, or the means just the one, or like you guys are talking about how many it means, or so you don't have any disrespect to the vampire. Okay, I see that. I'm a guy. So yeah, no, I'm kind of more leaning towards their side.
And what is this?
You know that every video I see about the Sex and the City, they always say, yes, they always do say Sex in the City. So
yeah, because the and doesn't sound right.
So what is and in? Now I think of Sex in the City, which is giving the city respect. There's no disrespect to the city. It's just in the city. As in and the city, to me, is degrading it. It's putting it down a notch. It's the same thing as the. That's how I'm thinking about it. But maybe
and wrote, logic goes out the window. Seems like an attention grab to me, like Dolly's missing braces. And then she wrote in the message there to brace herself. To brace yourself.
You know what? You could be right. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Those messages might come to you as an individual different than the other person. So write it down and kind of keep it on your side a little bit. You know, maybe that message is for you to brace yourself. You know what? Why the fuck not? Seriously, what? Don't ignore them and just overly debunk them. Write them down on a piece of paper, and then, like, that's kind of cool.
Even the awards they say in the city, I will post next. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do this a second. Now, okay, Bob. So let's say I want to hear what somebody should do in a case. So let's just say Ann Gaynor just heard a brand new Mandela effect. Could be whatever. Word change, or could be whatever. She heard a brand new one.
Yeah.
How would you tell her she should pursue to even see if the change is real or not? Or what would you tell Ann Gaynor if she hears something brand new that there's a change? What should she do?
Well, number one, I call it a discrepancy error.
Okay.
Don't use the word that people give you. I say it's a discrepancy for me, discrepancy error than how I remember. inconsistent to how I remember it. And then I would follow up with more of I would look at whatever it is and try to find something. I don't believe in evidence that much. It's an endless fucking circle, but you'll need to do it a little bit just to scratch that itch. Just do a little bit. Don't go too far with the research. Do some research though. Even if it's bad research, just don't fall into that circle. That rabbit hole will take you in and lead you to other things. You don't want to go that far. And then write it down. Just write it down and keep it, and then open it up, and then try to find if there's a code in there. What does that mean? I like the idea that someone says brace yourself. That's not bad at all. That's for that person, that's fucking solid. So write that down, close your book up, and have an idea. Keep it quiet and don't go bothering people with it too much, because if they don't remember it, you're just going to look like a mad person. Get yourself locked up or made fun of. You don't need that right now. You don't need to be fighting nobody. Don't get into fights. Don't get into debates because they're right. When you see a change and they don't see it, you got to understand, number one, they're right, not you. Because it's always been that way. So you can't win that fight. It's the Kobayashi Maru. I tell people the Mandela effects are Kobayashi Maru. You're not going to win. Now, there's people out there that are like Captain Kirk that are trying to make fake videos so they can win the Kobayashi Maru like Kirk did. But in our reality, man, you're not going to win. You're not supposed to win that fight.
Let me answer this. We don't have a call-in system. Print that. There's something that we thought about doing, but it seems like everybody who has a call-in phone system, half the calls are people that just want to fight with you, and I feel like sometimes it's just wasting the show. But Preventa, if there's something that you want to come on our show about, like to talk to us about, my email address is in the description. Just email me and say, hey, I'd like to be a guest on one of your shows. Then we'll bring you up and we'll talk then. Because I just feel like call-ins, half of them are bogus calls. People, and then, then you're having a 3, 4 hour, 5 hour show, and I just don't want a 3, 4 hour show. It gets diluted. But here's Walk the Plank. This is his or her opinion. I don't know if it's a he or a she.
Yeah.
Eric, the source. What is the source of the information? Is it from a certain or decent person? Number one, consider the source. Well,
yeah, that's
what you're saying there. What you're saying there, Walk the Plank. To me, that's common sense.
That's college. That's
common sense.
Right?
It's like Walk the Plank. It's like if somebody says, "Hey, this actor is saying this movie," or this person saying this movie sucks or something. Well, or they're saying the movie's being shut down. Well, then you look. Okay, where is this coming from? Where is this story coming from? And then you go back, and then sometimes you'll find that a conversation came from a no deadbeat channel that only has like 10 views, and they're just looking for the title something. Everybody's running with it. You're right. You gotta follow the source first. Go down. Who's saying it? Then, if you follow the source, and if it is somebody who's kind of important, then you're like, okay, it's coming from a reliable place. Now let's go further. Following the source is so important that you gotta follow the source.
Check your source.
Yeah, it's just like if I hear a change and then I find out that it's from CFM, shut that off. Get off. That guy is nothing but lies. That's where you shut it off. But if the source comes from like, oh, Texas Danny's saying something about a land change. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a really good source.
I don't hate that guy. I like that. He just don't see anything. He's just kind of playing. No. He's playing the role. I like the guy.
He's an actor. He's an actor from Hollywood.
There's a lot of Californians. You got the red flags for me.
Now,
These guys are like, oh, okay.
What is this portrait change? Why did portrait change to the picture of Dorian Gray? It's cheaper for one thing, but why move the portrait? Because now there were photographs in.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, Eric, you don't know this one. It was called a portrait of Dorian Gray, and now it's changed to the picture. Again, this is just me, guys. Don't jump on my turnip truck. It's degrading it again. It's putting it down a notch and a level. Just to me, like the interview with the vampire. Again, I know gals have a different opinion on that one, which is cool. You're supposed to. To me, it puts him down. It puts it down, and the vampire makes it sound nasty. As in, a vampire gives it more respect. A portrait is higher in status than a picture. You see what I'm saying? A portrait is higher in status than a picture. So the vampire and then a vampire are different. The picture and a picture sounds, that's what it's kind of like to me. Or a picture and then now it's the picture. You know, it brought it down a notch. I know a lot of interesting things. For example, for me, I used Tom Cruise as the number one. Tom Cruise to me was badass and super fucking cool. And now I see him and he's down a notch. Now he used to be Tom Cruise and now he's the Tom Cruise. His shit sucks. He's fucking wearing a pink shirt with no sunglasses. He ain't cool. His videos suck. His movies just kind of lame now. He's a lame duck now.
Life was
he came down a notch.
Preventa wrote, oh yeah, friend, I forgot to tell you. Another reason all these shows that does call-ins, I don't know if you know this, that they set up call-ins on purpose. They have certain people to call in for certain things to make them look like they're gods. It happens all the time. They have fake callers to agree with them 100%. It helps to feed the planted memories, or it's helped to feed them to think they're the ones, they're the gods, they're the watch. There's a lot of fake calls that happens on these other shows, and I don't want to be involved in that. But she wrote, what about life was in a box of chocolate? Does that mean that the past is changeable and we never know what we're going to get?
Yeah, that's one of the theories.
That's a good theory.
I mean, because I've seen it. I mean, 100%. And that's just me. I don't want to give stories, but I've seen it where things in the past have changed, and it did change the future. It did. Something in the past changed, and it did change the future. So that, to me, is solid. Yeah.
Texas Danny, hardcore confirmation. Okay. Star Trek. Kabashia, Maru, V'ger, Link, Lock.
Correct. You know, I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, if you guys don't know about Star Trek and V'ger, which was
Star Trek the motion picture. He's talking about Star Trek the motion picture with V'ger.
He's talking about the history of Voyager that went and left the entire. It left the galaxy and kind of went way out there into the universes. And then it's coming back home, a highly intelligent creature or living.
Bought the portrait of Dorian Gray. Okay, she found and bought the picture of Dorian Gray.
Yeah,
and walked the plank road. Life is like a box, and life was like a box. Both lines are in the movie. That is a fake change and didn't change at all. Liars and idiots. And Walk the Plank is 100% correct on that. Both sayings were in a movie. It really was. It was a saying. And the thing is, people remember the second saying more than the first because it is what it is. And the problem is, it's guys, Walk the Plank is 100% correct. It's just like when you watch these shows, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, and all that, and they hear this white noise, right? They think they hear something, and then the other guy goes, I know what it's saying. It's saying that get out of my house. And then the other person will say, get out of my house. Even though the word is different, that's the only thing they remember because somebody's planted. So what happens is when you hear two different lines, your mind gets connected to one of the lines versus the other one. And then even though you're hearing the other line, you're picturing the main line that you remember first or second, whatever reason, why something you remember it, that becomes your main line. Walk the Plank, you're 100% correct on that. And that's what happened with Forrest Gump. That is also like the Star Wars fake reaction about the Luke part. They're absolutely right on that.
Well, look, hold on. Let me say this. Okay, life is like a box of chocolates, right? And then later on in the movie, they say that life was like a box of chocolates. Now, what if you got? What if it reversed? What if it was the other one first? And what if it originally was life was like a box of chocolates, and then the movie later on, and life is like a box of chocolates? Both phrases are used in the movie. They're both in the same sentence in the movie. They might have swapped spots in the movie, though. Here's food for thought.
No, I call so many times myself. I don't know what you're talking about when you're saying you call so many times myself. Because we never did the phone thing here.
But again, like phrases will swap spots. A present to the past and the past to the present.
Yeah.
That could have happened also. I'm just giving you guys ideas to think about. Maybe the phrases swapped spots. One was past and then they became
it could
present.
be, and that's a possibility.
It's a possibility,
but what I get, what she's saying is sometimes there are two lines in a movie and nobody even knows there's two lines in a movie. They don't even know that. Even if it could switch, nobody realizes that there's two different lines in a movie.
Yeah.
You know, you could say that. I mean, you could honestly say in Risky Business, there's scenes with the glasses, there's scenes without it. Because you've seen scenes with glasses, now you think almost every scene has the glasses. I mean, that's a possibility too.
That's a great argument because he wears the Ray-Bans throughout the entire movie. He didn't wear them in that scene. Only that scene he didn't wear them. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
he didn't wear them in that scene.
It's all possibilities. And I still think maybe because maybe that could have changed. Maybe it was the opposite. Maybe he only wore glasses there and not in the other scenes. But at the end of the day, what does it mean? The time travel clock. That's what it means. The time travel clock.
That's all that matters, guys. Time travel. Time travel clock.
What does it say here? What is so weird to me is I told 100% of people about it, and they don't even. One person said, "Oh my God!" They all looked at me like I was crazy. That's the problem. When people already locked in a certain thinking, they don't want to accept any. They don't want to accept anything else. They don't. They'll trade the saying, "You're just saying that. You're just, you don't want to believe in it." And it's not that. You sound like you're a smart person that you want to understand all sides. And then once you have all the information, then at the end of the day, it's up to you.
Well, I always try to tell people, I worked at a museum, guys. I worked at an aerospace museum where pretty much everything changed. And it was an aerospace, which including space, everything. The B-29 that I had personally worked on, the entire plane changed. It has a computer turret that never had a. Now, I worked with people with this thing, with and without that computerized turret. Before 2016, I was working with that plane. We had it wrapped up and stuff, and it was green, World War II-ish. It would all the whistles and bells of World War II B-29, the way I remember it. And then after 2016, it had changed. Now, the people had changed with it. I had to take the computerized turret, which I'd never seen before in my fucking life, before 2016, off the plane, take it into my space and work with it, with people that are working on this device I've never seen before in my life. And I'm in shock with it. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? And these people they know every nut, every bolt, every washer. They know everything about it. It's been in their life since they were babies. They've always known the B-29 with the computerized turret. They know everything about it. It was new to me, and people know about, they're here, they're from here, this is their life. They've got the memories for everything that ever happened here. So you cannot take it away from them. You can't.
No.
The person worked on this computerized turret, knew exactly about everything, the history, and I had never seen it before in my life. And I worked on that plane, and it just appeared. Okay, so you got to understand, there's nothing you can do. You're going to look insane. I wanted to argue with the guy. There was no such thing as this thing never existed for me. That sounds stupid. I would have locked me up, man. So I shut my mouth and learned about it. I learned the history of the B-29 computerized turret. I learned everything there is about this brand new thing. It just blew up into existence.
Yep.
That's how you got to treat things. Just get along with the locals.
Now,
Get along with them.
somebody
Don't
wrote,
get yourself fucked up.
I would love to be on your show. Well, like I said, just email me, and if just for anybody, you email us and kind of tell us a little bit, like, if you do want to come on the show, what's the topic that you're passionate about?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because when you have a passion on a certain subject, you'll actually want to talk more just because you're comfortable with the subject you want to talk about. So ask me, but he gets too angry. Yeah, there's a lot of channels they get too angry. You don't want to mess with those people. They're just angry. They're not fun. They're Donald Trumps of the world. Okay, we don't need Donald Trumps on this channel. But email me the subject you'd like to talk about, and when we find a day that's the good day for that subject, boom. And talking about shows, I just want to let everybody know there's no show this Monday. My wife's got to go in the hospital, got to do some hospital stuff. If there's a show, it'll be late night or something, but for now, there's no show on Monday because I'm going to be in the hospital. But, we'll be back on Wednesday. But, Bob, you got anything going on this weekend?
I probably do not. I'm still taking a break. I'm kind of running around doing lots of crazy things out here. There's been a lot of crazy, wacky things like protests and just really cool things in Europe that are going, especially all the floods and the nasties and shit. Then I got to go into a spaceship and go through time and space. So you know how that works out. It's kind of rough scheduling. No, nothing so far.
You want to talk about all of them? We could do that. Just okay, and just email me and just you gotta let me know what days that you're free on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I can mold a show into that. So just let me know. Just email me. Let me know what day, and we'll make it happen. Easy as that. Easy as that. That's cool. Yeah. So no show on Monday. So yeah. Well, guys, listen, I think we had a great time today, and what I wanted to, the main thing about today is that make sure when you say that something is bigger than something else, you need to back up on why, where, and where this is coming from. And you got to have an open mind to everything too. You can't always believe what you hear. You can't always believe what you're seeing. 80% of anything on the internet, any pictures, they're all fake. Listen, I did a cool little music video because Bob goes, you did too much rock and roll. So I made a music video for Bob, Boy George, and I put a picture with Boy George with Jason. Listen, that picture's fake. Good. That picture's fake. Okay? So you got to make sure that you don't go down a rabbit hole based on fake pictures, fake videos, make fake news. Exactly. Make sure if you're going to follow something, follow the source. Follow where it came from. If you're going to use something to back your claim, make sure what that thing you're using is from a real good source.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, you'll know when they want money. So if they want money, if they want your fucking money, I guarantee you.
Guys, I've got an awesome topic. It's going to be breathing, but I'm not going to do it on this channel. YouTube takes everything away. So go to Rockfin. You got to be a premium. If you're going to do a premium, go through me. And then we're going to talk real stuff. But make sure your credit card information is all on me. Credit card, I want this, I want that. Listen, I got a Patreon. I got all that. But I don't fucking push it. I don't create minute videos to try to force you. You got to pay me because this is what I do. This is what I do best. I always think of, if you like me, you're going to do it anyway. I'm never going to force anybody to do something they don't want. People who force it, okay.
I don't have a damn.
If you're happy with them, go for it.
I got nothing.
The people that I actually have that's actually joined on the YouTube channel. I've never told them they could. They did it because they want to. That's what I want. People who want to. I'm not going to make a minute video every fucking week and say, support me now.
Yeah, I got no beef with that. In fact, I got no beef with anybody doing that, making a living at all.
I always say, get a job. That is correct. I love that. I love that. I love that.
But I can't.
I love that. I love that.
The Pentagon Secret Army, so I'm not allowed to ask for money. In fact, after this thing's all over, I get a promotion and I get back pay. I don't know. The CIA owes me a lot of money for this.
Yeah. You know, I used to tell people, you want to support me without spending $1? Just go to my audio, listen to it there, and let the corporations pay. Let them pay.
Yeah.
There's ways of helping people out without actually taking out your wallets. Because listen, right now, everybody is living in tight times right now. Money is, nobody has tons of money. Especially where we're living at right now. Shit, just live in fucking Washington. A fucking apple is going to cost you $5 now. You know, a freaking steak is going to cost you $28 now.
Yeah, I'm
like people say, send me money. I know, right? Every time you go to church, right? I don't go to church, but when I saw people go to church, they always pass around the bucket. Right? And you always feel stupid if you don't put money in it because the next person is looking at you like, what a cheap bastard. You know? Everybody wants money. It's all a corporation. Churches want money. They want money. Everybody wants money. It's all about money.
I've accepted many gifts in the past. I didn't ask. Like, to show out like, thank you. Chocolate. Like, all kinds of cool shit. I've taken gifts, but I don't say no to that.
Yep.
I'll give you.
So beyond that, guys, we're gonna end the show here, and we'll be back Wednesday. I'll be doing a horror talk show on Tuesday. I'm gonna be talking about the M. Night Shyamalan because I just watched this movie. I'm gonna be talking about all his movies on Tuesday. I'm gonna break it down. Like I'm gonna rank all his movies in my opinion. You know, his movie Old is actually pretty good, guys. It is. I was actually like, wow, this is enjoyable. I like this.
He's a good director. He's kind of wild. I like his stuff. Indian guy.
Really? Yeah, it was a good movie. It was a good movie. You know, and so beyond that, guys, I want everybody to have a good weekend, have a good, safe weekend, and make sure that if you get bonus money, make sure you all send it my way. I want it all. Okay, I want it all. Right? Give me everything. I deserve everything. Give it to me now. Beyond that, talk to you guys later.